Hey guys, ThunderaShadow here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of my videos. Today we are back with another build video. I needed a bit more time on a larger build that I am doing, so we have this one, and I kind of wanted to do this sort of for a while. I want to take each of the packs and see how far I can get as far as a starter house goes. Some of the packs I'll definitely have to use base game as well, but this one is starting out with base game only, so let's get into it. So I built this house on the Fern Park lot in Newcrest. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. Not all of these builds are going to have 2 bedrooms. Some of them may have like uh, a certain skill room or something, so I'm not going to commit to 2 bedrooms in every house, but yeah. As I said, this is built with only base game, and it ends up being 19,611 simoleons, and I do end up having to off-screen move a window that will be for the kids' room so it's more centered, but you'll see that. Well, you won't see me move it, but you'll see which window I'm talking about later. So right now, I'm just doing the roofing. Just trying to figure out how to get this to look good. And I decided to adjust on a couple of the room sizes instead. Just so it has that flat space right there. And then doing the roofs for what is right now the back. But I ended up actually flipping the house because I thought that this looked better as far as the front goes than what I had. So I do end up flipping the house around. And that's what I'm doing right now, just because I thought this looked more like a front of a house than anything. And then I'm putting a porch in. And I didn't want to have to use stairs because I didn't really want to have to pay for them. So I just lifted it on a foundation just a little bit. And I checked my sim can get up there and into the house without stairs, so that was good. And then just going to go and put some paint on the roof. Just really trying to figure out what I think looks good. So I'm changing up this piece of roofing on the back just to be a little bit different, and just going to do the roofing now. And then looking for a door. I'm not good at these budget builds. I was like going for the expensive stuff, and you'll see towards the end I start checking to see how much this is actually this build actually is. And I end up having to get rid of stuff and adjusting and everything. Right now it's a really big house. It doesn't stay this big at all. So, but right now I'm just trying to figure out the siding and the paint and all that. And at first I really loved this blue door that I have. So I was trying to work with it. But the bricks with the white and everything, it was just not cohesive to me. And I tried just moving on to windows to see if I couldn't just make it work. But it wasn't working, so I ended up going back and seeing about changing the siding. And I was thinking about making it just all white, but I kind of wanted something to contrast on like the sides here a little bit. So I ended up going with this stone. And just on these two like bump outs up here at the front. And then I put some siding on the rest of the house. Right now it's brown. But I ended up changing the color a little bit because I just did like a brown house not too long ago. I think a couple of them actually. So I kind of wanted something a little bit different. I'm just putting the foundation on right now, and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't changing. But I ended up figuring out it was because I was trying to apply the same foundation that was already on there. So I just go back and change it to this one right here. And this one actually, if you have your house raised up a little bit more, it has a cute pattern on it with like the diamond and the bricks and stuff. But I was just kind of going for something that would look good with the little bit of a foundation that they have on the house. So, and then this blue color is actually what ends up being. After I changed the door to white, I really was like, well, I kind of want to bring in some color somewhere. So that's where I got that at. And then the windows. The windows was very difficult on this build. I end up placing some, and then I go back and I change them. These windows right here for the eaves of the roof, they stay. And then I place some windows, and then I change them, and it was just a lot. And then I was trying to like, okay, well, let me go ahead and figure out what room is what, and put doors in and everything to figure all of that out first, and then I will figure out where the rest of it needs to be. Well, this is going to be like the kitchen area, and I wanted it to be open but not like totally open, so I just did a spandrel and some columns. And that's what I'm doing right now, is just adding in the spandrel and the columns. And then this is putting in a back door, and I cut out a lot of me playing around with windows. So there are already windows on the house, but I end up going back and deciding against those. Like, I had these like rounded ones. I just did not really like the direction it was going with those. I do leave the two like arched windows at the front of the house that are there right now. I liked those by the front door. The front door does end up changing, but I go with these windows with the shutters for the rest of the house, just a couple of different variants here and there. And then I have that window for the bathroom. And then just going to place a couple of other windows. And like I said, this house changes a lot. Like, the back door does not stay there. The bathroom window does not stay. There's a couple of other windows that gets deleted. It changes by the time it gets done and through, so I grab this flooring for the two porches. I was on the fence about it, just trying to figure out if that was really what I wanted to go with or not, but I ended up going with that one. So, and then I'm just going to go and put a small porch back here. I didn't want it to be anything huge. It really just didn't need to be anything huge there, so and then as far as lighting goes, I just put these saucer lights in every room, and I ended up leaving those. They were really going to be my best option the entire time anyway, so. And then just putting the base game filter back on and trying to find some flooring for the rest of the house. And I put wood in for the 2 bedrooms and the living room. And then in the 2 bathrooms, I put in some tile. So right now, I'm just looking at my different options for the wood floor. And then I'm going to go to the bathrooms and get some tile in there. It ends up being a really pretty blue tile that I kind of don't know if I ever realized that we had. And that's kind of also why I wanted to do this whole building starter homes with the different packs and kits and stuff, because of the fact that I am always discovering new items that I was like, when did we get this? So I kind of wanted to do this just to sort of show myself new items as well, but also you might discover a new item that you've never seen before. So now I'm just doing the paint on the walls. I grabbed that blue for the main bedroom, and then this wallpaper for the kids' bedroom, just because it kind of looks like a starry night to me, and I thought that would be really cute. And then over in the kitchen was hard. I was trying to find something that didn't really scream like bathroom or something to me, because some of the tiles in the game just kind of remind me of like bathroom tiles. So I was trying to figure that one out. I end up with a white tile on the whole room. The bathroom also has a white tile, and now we are going for the kitchen cabinets. And I just go with these ones right here. I was at first going to have like instead of a dining room table, like an island peninsula type thing. I just couldn't get any of the counters to really line up well with it. And it was kind of because I was using the island ones, but also when I started using the regular one, I just didn't like how it looked as far as the island part of it went. So I just went with a regular kitchen layout. And I was going to keep the island there just to like not have to have a table. I just decided to get rid of the island part altogether and just put in a small table because there's not going to be many Sims living here. At most 4, because there's a double bed in the main bedroom, so you can have 2 adult Sims, and then you can have there's a child bed and a toddler bed. Of course, you can always have like a newborn baby, and you can always move beds around and put bunk beds and stuff in, so you could have more than 4. But right now, as I have built it, it's 4. So, just grabbing a refrigerator and a stove and a sink, and then going for a table. And I really wanted to use a round table, and for a while I have it in as a round table. But when I started looking at the budget and doing budget cuts, the round table had to go. So that just had to go. I needed the money back. And then I'm putting some fruit on the table and then some paper towels over by the sink. And then just kind of looking to see if there's anything else. And I really wanted to put the aprons that we got in a base game update. I want to say it was 2 or 3 of them ago, but it could have been longer. And then I do put an indoor trash can. And so now we're just going to do the living room part. I got that console and that small TV because I was trying to keep in mind that we didn't have much money left and I still had a bathroom and 2 bedrooms to furnish. I grabbed that little couch and those rugs for the 2 doors. And then just moving that door around. Because I really wanted sort of maybe not a mud room per se, but like somewhere to put your coats and everything. And I almost threw in the umbrella stand. I did not, because that is not base game. I usually always put an umbrella stand towards like the front of my house, or if I remember to, I put it in there. But I didn't have access to it, so I put a couple of backpacks, one's for each kid, and then we have this shoe rack in base game, so I put that over there, and then just going for some curtains. I go with these. And then remembering that I hadn't put any curtains on the kitchen window, which curtains honestly should have been like my last priority. But I wanted this house to feel like it was fully decorated, fully functional. Nobody was on a budget. There was nothing to do with the budget. This was just how this family has chosen to live. So I was trying my best to make it not look like a budget house. I didn't want it to be like empty and have nothing in it. So I put this chair out, and again, budget cuts, the chair got cut. So just moving stuff around a little bit. And then for some reason my mouse went a little weird and would not get off of like the little rotate button. So I ended up actually having that a couple of times during this build. I don't know what was going on. I just had to click on another piece to place and it got rid of it. So now we're just moving on to rugs. And this rug for the living room was a bit harder because like some of my favorite rugs apparently I have learned are not base game. So I went with this one right here, and I used the tool mod to resize it just to sort of give it like a little bit bigger, but not huge. So, and then back here we have like a little kids play area. All it has is like a toy box, the toddler blocks, one of those creativity tables for the child, and a few toys. Not much, but enough to have stuff for them to skill up with. So, and then I'm just going to put out a few toys. And I grabbed this rug, it's the cloud rug. I don't think that it stays in the end. I could be wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. And then just trying to figure out anything else I wanted to put out. I was really wanting to put out like some of those stuffed animals that we have, but they're not really base game either, I learned. So I put a few toys and then that teddy bear. And then moving on to the bathroom. I knew by this point that there was more than likely going to be a toddler in here. So I ended up, and even if there wasn't, I felt like a bathtub was a good option. Like at one point they would have had a toddler, so I ended up with the shower tub combo. There's the toilet, the sink, and then I did end up going, okay, well, if there is going to be a toddler, let's go ahead and throw in a toddler potty. So then a couple of towels on the wall. Going ahead and getting the toilet paper. You know, just decorating even though I have not finished furnishing the house. Just the important stuff, you know? So I went ahead and grabbed a soap dispenser and a hand towel, and then we're moving on to the kids' bedroom. So I grab this toddler bed, and then I'm going to grab this bed, and then go and play around with colors and everything. And I thought that those two beds looked really good together. And then I placed a bed over in the main bedroom, and I decided to get rid of that window. And then putting up some curtains, I go with these dark blue ones because they almost matched the wallpaper, and I thought that looked really nice. And then I did not realize that I was not filtered by base game only until I got to here, and I put down that rug. It's not base game. It does go. So, and then just looking for a new rug since that one was not able to be used. So I'm going with this rug, and this is like a hall rug or a front of the door rug, but I thought it felt really like it fit in nicely here. So, and it had the right colors too with the dark blue. Then I grabbed this dresser with some books, and then just looking for like some toys or something to put on here. I grabbed this basket of toys to sit beside it. And then this like photo from a soccer team or something. And then moving on to the main bedroom, I put up some curtains. I grab a rug. It's just this like white circle right here, and I just sized it up. And then going for some side tables. And then I'm going to go and grab the same dresser that's in the kids' room, but in a different swatch. And then going to put a plant and then grab a mirror. And then just really looking for some clutter. I put some books on that side nightstand. And then I was thinking about like a desk with a computer in here, so I decided to get rid of the dresser and go ahead and put that in, and then go back and see if there was a different dresser I could use. So I decided to take the one out of the kids' room and replace it with a kids' dresser and use that one over in the main bedroom. Which, I mean, it works. It doesn't stay like that, but it works. So now we are on to the outside of the house. And I very quickly realized we didn't have much money at all. In fact, at this point, we have 34 simoleons. So this was the time to break out debug. And if you don't know how to get to debug, all you have to do is bring up the cheats menu. and type in bb.show_hidden_objects and bb.show_live_edit_objects, and that should be able to bring up your debug menu. I also use the Better Build By mod, so a lot of the times I have organized debug on. I did not for this particular instance, but yeah. And then just kind of trying to figure out what else I can use as far as decorating the place, and I go into the debug menu right here. And I found these potted plants that I could put on the front porch. Because by this time, there was just no money left for the outside. And I found this plant that I put on the dresser for now. So, it kind of moves a little bit, and I can't even remember if it ends up staying. I found these hedges, bushes, whatever you can call them. I put them over on that side, and then I found this planter box with these like calla lilies in it, so I put it over here. And then I was quickly realizing that while I was going through debug and everything, trying to find some plants and some trees and stuff, that I had forgotten one thing on the outside that could not be gotten through debug. So I placed that tree, and I switch out the bushes for these, and I'm starting to realize at this point I don't have an outdoor trash can. And I'm still kind of like playing around with stuff, but I end up having to go back and figure out about an indoor or an outdoor trash can. I have one inside, but I don't have one outside at this point. So right now I'm still kind of playing around. I'm like, okay, I'll go and get a trash can in a minute. Let me just finish looking through debug, see what else we have in here, see what else I can use. And I found these things. I think that these are from the piece of clay. Well, first I'm putting some flowers around the tree back there, just to give it a little bit more color and everything. But I think that these, like the bunny, the llama, and the Eiffel Tower are what your Sims can make with the pieces of clay that they have in the game. So I end up putting those on the dresser instead, almost as if like maybe the kids made them at school or preschool or something. And I moved this little flower vase back here to the back porch. Again, a lot of this changes, so I don't remember if that plant even stays in this build or not, so. But right now, I'm just trying to finish up looking through debug to see if there's anything else I want or anything else that I really think would fit in this build. And I think I actually did see an outdoor trash can just now, but I don't know if it would be functional coming from debug, because a lot of the stuff in debug as far as that kind of stuff aren't really functional. And I was going to put out some of the like toddler books, but I didn't realize that they weren't free, so because all of debug is not free. And then just looking through trying to figure out if there's anything else I can add. And this is where I'm like, oh wait, an outdoor trash can, I forgot about that. So I'm just trying to figure out what I can get rid of. And this house does not have a fire alarm. I couldn't afford it. Yeah, it just doesn't have one. So right now I'm changing out the columns to try and afford an outdoor trash can. And I also kind of wanted like some sort of outdoor play equipment for the kids. Unfortunately for the toddler in this house, there is no outdoor play equipment in base game. So yeah. So the toddler just does not get anything to play with outside. But I ended up going with those columns and that spandrel just because it kind of gave me it gave me a lot of money back, because before I was at like $60 and now we're at $487. So it gave me some good simoleons back on that one. So then I was able to just look around and see if there was anything else that I could change real fast, just trying to figure out about the outdoor trash can and about the play equipment, because I knew that that was going to be expensive, and that more than likely I did not have the money for that at that point in time. And then just trying to figure out ways to maybe shrink a couple of rooms and just sort of looking to see. And at this point, I could afford the trash can. So I got that over here. And I was thinking about the fire alarm. But then I was also thinking, we haven't really put anything on the walls in this house either. So I felt like the main bedroom, needed a little bit of help. So I looked through the wall hangings and then this decor like section, and I ended up putting this picture right here of the yellow flowers, and I used Tool to resize it just because I didn't want it quite that big, but I didn't want it as small as it regularly comes. So I felt like that was a good size right there. Then just looking to see if there's anything else I felt like would work. I didn't really find anything. And then I needed a picture for above the TV as well. But at this point, I was kind of like, okay, well, I've got 67 simoleons. Let's see what I can add. I was like, oh, maybe I can add some gardening pots. I could add one. And that didn't really feel like it was needed because you could always just plant your plants in the ground. So just trying to figure out something. I really wanted the monkey bars. So I decided to look and check and see how much the house was, and it was actually over 20,000 simoleons. So that was where I really had to start budgeting and looking at everything and trying to figure out how much and everything. And the front door was the first thing to go. I ended up changing it out with the back door, like the back door right here moves up front. And then I just put a simple door at the back. And then I start looking at the room sizes, and I decided that not everything needed to be as big as it was. I was still trying to figure out if there was anywhere where I could do a little less on the painting or a little less money on the tiles, that sort of stuff. And I got a little bit of money back from the main, like the living room area. Well, I say a little bit. We was at 60 something simoleons before, and now we're at 450. And then just looking at like the toys and stuff, because obviously the toy box has stuff, I decided to get rid of the bear. And just like I said, just trying to look and see where I could cut some budget, because at this point I think I was about 1,000 simoleons over, and I still couldn't afford the monkey bars. So, and I really wanted the monkey bars. And right there, I couldn't see how much over we were, but I'm still checking stuff. And I don't know why I was checking the debug stuff. They didn't cost anything. So this is the point where I'm like, okay, these rooms are just going to have to shrink. So that's where I'm kind of at right now. I'm like, what rooms can I shrink and not have it feel horrible? And then also the table, as much as I loved the round table, because trust me, I did, it was just too much money. This other table cost a good bit less than that one did, and I'm just trying to figure out if I want it to remain white or to go with a different color, but I left it all white. And then just like I said, trying to figure out what else can go. And I was looking at the chairs, so I get rid of that chair, and I was thinking about putting out a different one. I don't think I end up putting a chair back out. I think it's just a couch, which is fine because you don't really need that many with such a small family anyway. So I was able to finally get the monkey bars though, and I was trying to find something to put out for the toddler, but there was just really nothing there. And at this point, I'm back over 1,000 simoleons off of the 20,000. So I start playing around with the sizes of rooms and stuff, just trying to figure out where I could get some money back. And so I shrink this side of the house. I go and I fix the windows, I fix the bushes, I fix the roof. And And then I go in and I have to I move the dresser over just to make sure that your Sims can get in there. And I have to go back and fix the kitchen and pull out the stove and move around the cabinets and everything. Same thing on the other side. And I end up getting rid of a cabinet as well. So I end up leaving it like uneven almost. Well, not almost. It is uneven. And I just moved the table and I was checking to see if I was on budget yet. And I really wasn't. So I was trying to figure out, okay, where else can I cut this budget? Where else can I really save some money? And I was thinking about this rug in the living room. Maybe I could just change it up. I just didn't really like this other rug. It was just not working really. So I ended up just going back to the rug that I had because I really liked it. So that's what I did there. And I got rid of the cloud rug just because I didn't think that they needed it. Plus, it kind of looked a little weird having all those rugs in that space there. I get rid of a towel, I move the toilet and everything, and I shrink this side of the house as well. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of adjusting just because it needed it. So I shrink the kids' room as well. And then I noticed the toilet paper floating. And then I'm just going to move everything around in here. Just trying to get it all to fit a little bit better. Move the rug and the dresser for the kids' room. And I don't actually move. That's the window I was talking about that I had moved off screen. The one that's in the front of the house, because you see how it's off centered right now. I do end up going back and moving it to be sort of more centered in the middle there. So, and then I do end up moving a few other things as well. Like right now, I'm still over the 20,000 simoleon budget that I really wanted to be at. So I'm having to move that bump out in and get rid of the roof and move in the porches and everything. I decided to shrink this back porch a little bit. And then I wanted another one of these plants on the other side of the door just to sort of have a little bit of symmetry there. And then just looking around, I shrunk the front porch as well. And then just really trying to figure out if there was anything else budget-wise that needed to go. And I got rid of the computer and the desk. It just was costing too much money. It needed to go, and it really wasn't like absolutely necessary for this build for that to be in it, because I didn't really have like a certain career or anything that these Sims were going to have. So, and I just decided to get rid of those plants altogether. And I'm just now noticing that it got rid of my curtains on the back window there. I don't know if I go back and replace that or not. I don't think I do. So you may have a window without a curtain in this build if you download it. My Sims still end up with about 900 simoleons left, so that's an easy fix to just put it back. So, and right now we are doing the terrain paint. So just going to go through quickly and do all of that and just put the terrain paint around. Just trying to figure out what looks the best here. And you see Sims walking around because I had play tested a couple of things. I had a little bit more play testing to do, and I end up having to go back and move a few other things, which you'll see here in just a moment. Just going to go around the sides of the house and the porches and everything, going around the tree, going around the poles for the monkey bars, the trash can, all of that. Just getting all of that done up. Then going around the front. And then right here, this I had to move the toy box, the blocks, and the toys over because it was blocking the bathroom door after I had pulled in that last section. And that's the build. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of my videos. I will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.